Welcome everyone to the 128th weekly live stream. Yeah, woo indeed. Woo indeed. Today we have Aliclaw.
Hello. And of course, the living dead.
And there might be a CPC just fluffing things in the background. Who knows? Probably yes.
The best fluffer.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe Fluffy's Eye will join us. We aren't sure. It's his birthday, so he gets the day off if he chooses. But only today. So in case you're new, Olive Project Rabbit, they're the only new person here, I see. If you have any art, feel free to submit it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We're here to help. It's a critiquing stream, in case you're wondering. We barely draw in here, except for Cupid's case, apparently. The rest of us just do our best to critique art that comes in and answer any questions. I know you from... Awesome. We are from the Reddit's place.
Place of Redditing.
Occasionally, work gets done while on Reddit. Very rarely, though. Alright, so let's start off with Q-Pencil Case's picture. Do you got any questions for us firsthand?
Stranger Sora said we have been captured by Reddit. Please save us.
Oh no. Oh cool, Project Red's finally getting to see us live. It's so weird to think people want to see us.
It is.
Y'all crazy people hanging out with us every week. Y'all crazy and I love you.
Hanging out? Down the street? Same old thing?
Hanging out. Oh wait.
Oh, we also have a new person, Tolombard.
Stranger Sora said flagged.
No.
Whoa. That was under 15 seconds. We can get away with this.
CPC says, it's just really anything we can see. She knows that Pinky has a broken arm.
Stranger Sora said don't talk back to me, zombie.
You're in trouble.
I believe we're both admins here. We can counter-ban each other. Be all-out banning warfare.
Oh god.
Where did that come from? Okay, apparently, Twilight had something black on her chest. She smeared it all across my screen. It's powdered.
Oh no.
I think it's dust. Anyway, way to make it hard for us. There's this tangent line that forms here going over to the arm, I think, as it comes up. That's an evil tangent line. It makes it look like the cheek is part of the arm. I don't think that...
Oh.
I don't think that's your goal.
You're melting.
With this heat, I would expect her to melt.
It is too hot. I get the whole sloping arm thing in front of the pot, but it feels like almost it's attached to her neck, just because we have such a hard line here. I don't know. I feel like
It's really long. Like if you look at the diameter or the length of this pot, right? So this is the length of the pot there. To go from this point on it over here is going to be 2/3 of the radius. No, it's going to be at least half the radius. So that length there. And if we compare it off the leg, that should be about the full length of the arm. But because how the shoulder is, I think it's gone too long.
yeah. And if we look at your body sketch here, I guess I'm kind of like, where shouldn't the arm, the shoulder be like down? Maybe you'll just get like a peak.
Yeah, or the hoof sitting in the dirt would be around where it ends, behind this neck here. Pinky is also very massive, because her hip goes like this on here. That means her crotch is like down there.
She drank a Zecora potion, don't worry.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think overall, if I were to just go general, I feel like the proportions are a little all over the place because we have Bonbon being super long, Pinky being super big but long in the leg department. To me, it just feels like, and then the pot is really big, so like the scale of things, I guess, is sort of, if I'm really being nitpicky, is hard to decipher.
This leg too. This leg has no length to it. Like if we're using Pinky's leg as an idea, this one's got to be longer. But I mean, you hid the mistakes well by making it a fun picture.
Absolutely. Like, I see this and like I just enjoy it if I just look at it. But like I said, just being nitpicky. That's what I'd say. Dang erasers being dumb.
Just call it a poo-poo face. Or go find the European MLP Kinder eggs, because they had erasers in them.
Go ahead, Project Rabbit. Just throw it right at our face. You can link it in the chat, and we'll get to it next. Yeah, I really don't have much else. Solid CPC work as always. Nice, good lines. They feel nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usual CPC quality, like good characters, good faces, good.
Absolutely boopable smooths.
Yeah.
And fluff. Well, actually, that's my critique. Where's the fluff?
What the fluff?
Like the butt fluff and the knee fluff and maybe she has some hip fluff going on. Maybe she's like fluffing out of her mask here. You know, come on, CPC. Come on. Yeah, the fluff on the knee.
Little fluff coming from under that shirt.
Absolutely. Feels so weird and fluffy.
Fluffiness.
There goes. See, CPC's back on track now. She just had a moment. It's okay. Our fluffer is back in the house.
Oop. Alright. So, you got any questions for us over there? Mr. Project Rabbit, who has the hardest name to read on a black background.
First of all, I gotta say kudos for having conies interacting.
Yeah, people don't do that.
It's always good to see. Yeah, it's good to see people pushing themselves to do stuff like that. Now, I equally see strong points and things that could use a little work in anatomy. Like, I feel like your bodies and your heads are pretty decent size and shape-wise. The top guy here sure has a little bit of more square quality, while the lower guy is a bit more round and soft, sort of more like pony-esque style. I think the major things are the legs and all the legs, I guess. You can call it arms too, but technically they're all legs.
I'm interested in what happened to this horse's arms. Like, they're just gone. There's no sign of it. And then you've given us the elbow here of this arm, which means this arm's doing something like this, which is not quite where that joint is going to be quite. I think if you just take it and curve it around the body, get rid of that joint completely and just give it the hoof, you'll be a bit better. It'll shrink that back down to the proportions of the other arm. this blue. Yeah. Personally, I would take the horse on the bottom and put its arm up over here, because at least then it has an arm. And I think I would also change its face to be happier, because it looks very in duress.
I mean, that could be the story, though.
Maybe.
You know, like someone gets like armed in, like, oh, come on, let me hug you. We don't know unless you tell us. Okay, so they are supposed to be in duress.
Oh, okay. Then, in that case, is it duress because of the horse here, or is it duress because of the situation they find themselves in? Or is it duress because the viewer is catching this happening? That's his girlfriend who is holding him, and he has amnesia. Yes, distress because the other one. Okay. So, if the goal is to pull away, then give visual of trying to do that. Meaning, if you're to put a hoof here, make it actually look like it's pushing on him, like that. Maybe the other one up like the side of the face. I'd have to rework the hat then, because you'd want it to be visually there.
And like, I think another little touch that's something you could like build on. A lot of your limbs end in like just a circle, like a little nub. Something to really help that really get across that it is a leg or just the end of a hoof, because you know they're ponies. It's nice to have that little hoof going on. Just depending on where it is and where it's facing, you can just give it a little, you know, little something to make it feel more like, oh hey, there's like a hoof here. It's clippity cloppity, prancing down the street. And also that'll help with defining the leg. Because, like I said, a lot of the legs just seem very blobby and nubby. So, like the little purple legs I drew down here are just examples of how you could fix the shape for them. Except for that. Except for this right here. That's a tangent. That's a really bad tangent.
So even if she's too strong, like the pony, the main pony here is the her, right? Okay, so even if she's too strong for him to be pulling away, given the situation, that's fine. What you still want to show is the attempt. Because right now the story is just saying, yeah, I'm just lying there. Oh my god, you caught me and I'm just going to lie here. Fine. If your story is, help, I want free of this, then you got to show that with both the face and the emotion, or what the character's doing. And that's usually a pushing, trying to get free, squirming, wiggling out, whatever you need to do to signify that this one is trying to get free and the other one is just the muscle-bound madman able to hold this creature. Because part of your goal should be to tell a story. And if the viewer can't get the story you're trying to convey, then your picture isn't doing what you hope for. So giving enough hints of what's going on in all characters and environments around really aids in that. You got any other questions for us?
Yeah, I actually recognize them as sailors' hats right away. I think so. They felt very seafaring.
Yeah, I would say definitely sailor sets. But the old style Navy ones.
Mhm. Awesome.
Is someone able to help Fluffy's eye out? Seems to be having a breakdown.
Everything. Just you gotta watch Sloth Gifts. It solves everything.
May help.
It's Fluffy. Happy birthday, Fluffy.
Hello. I just didn't want to come in while you were in the middle of critiquing it.
It's all
Hello.
good. It's all good in the hood.
Hi.
Happy birthday!
Happy
Oh,
birthday!
thank you.
Happy
I'm sorry I'm
birthday!
late.
You're what, 27?
Shh.
26?
27.
27. Happy birthday! You're.
Happy birthday!
I was like with my friend, and I just said we didn't know what the time was, and we were just coming back to my room to watch stupid
Cute
vids,
Pencil
and then...
Case said happy birthday.
Thank
Stranger
you.
Saurus said happy birthday dear Fluffies A. Happy birthday to you.
Flagged.
And then we were just about to watch stupid videos, and I noticed I had the notification on my computer being like, get to the critique stream, and then I was like, and like freaked out, and I had to send her to leave, and she was like, fine, I'm being replaced by horses, and we got like a little bit upset.
I mean, you could have
I
just
was like,
stayed.
but I was looking forward to doing the stream with my friends.
Here's the birthday fluff in the birthday
Hi.
stream.
Yay! Here,
You made it.
I did. Woo! I'm tired and hot.
Nice.
That's the theme for today. Tired and
Yes,
hot.
yes, it is. That's like most places right now. So,
Speaking of-
how the critiquing been going? You got some lovely pictures here.
Yes, we've done
We
2
did.
so far. We got more. We got 3 new people in our chat.
I see there's a. I saw the happy birthday cake. That's very nice. Thank you.
Fluffy cakes. Alright.
Oh, and I just want to say as well, when I was like freaking out about it being the stream, and like my friend and I were trying to go downstairs, like I forgot we had the text to speech on still, so I was like in the channel and then like getting that happening, and then like we were on the way downstairs and all I could hear was just like Strangersaurus said flag, and I was just like, you guys are so great.
We do what we
The
can.
robots, man. The robots.
Alright. Just had to resize that picture so it fit.
Ooh, we got another submission.
Alright.
Ooh, glowy starlights.
Ooh.
Uh,
She gonna mess up your day. She ready to take you on.
Rabid, we'll look at the picture after this one. If you want to just fire it towards us. We might have basically the same to say, so if that's the case, we'll just quickly go over it.
Mm-hmm. So who is this Trixie submitted by?
That's not Trixie.
Wow.
She's in disguise.
I was, just that
Trixie's
ship,
used a transformation spell.
that ship is just stuck in your head. You can't think of one without the other.
The picture is by Plombard 2000. They're in the chat.
Ooh. Hello and welcome, Lombard. Very
Plombard.
nice starlight.
TLOM.
Oh, Tom. I'm just gonna stay quiet.
You tried your best.
Thank you.
Go find a plushie. It'll be good then.
Alright. Perfect.
Uh-oh. Is my tablet going to let me participate with the drawing. We will have to find out.
Next episode on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god. That sounds intense. Are we gonna be going super fluff?
I think so.
Yeah.
Super fluffing?
We scream for 6 streams straight.
Are we gonna fuse? I
You-
want
that's a different stream.
This has to be a whole contest of like fusions between our OCs.
You gotta
Okay.
you gotta ask Inky about that first, because that's it's like a conversation in private.
anyone who unfuses from Living Dead, like whatever they are fused with together as, like they unfuse, they're just like, oh my god, that was horrible, being undead. Ah.
This is so silly.
What do you expect?
And CPC's already gone.
I'm trying to buy time for my tablet to work, but it's not working.
Alright, so does the name I'm gonna fail at pronouncing have any questions for us?
Tlom. TLOM. Bard.
TLOM.
Okay, good. They are watching. I was just trying to get their attention.
Gotcha.
Do you have any questions for us, Tlombard? Maybe they don't hear us?
It's always possible. Well, no, they must have. Maybe. Or they read the scrolling text and not used to people reading the scrolling text.
It's a very uncommon thing. Okay, good. They hear us. So do you have any questions for us? Specifically on your piece? Or even not on your piece, but anything? What are you doing, Zai?
Do you have a question about the universe? We're drawing terrible ponies. That's what we're doing. I'm not good at just doing like the straight up draw without like building it up first.
My
I
head
was
is
intense
so
until it
long.
was working. Me too.
Long ponies. That's what it is.
So just
They always end up.
so what's your general questions then? Because we can have general answers too.
There's my pony. I'm beautiful.
Well, you gotta have like the second layer.
Beautiful. Work of art.
You folks are special.
This is actually all
Yes, we
fluff.
are. It's just an entire canvas. No big deal.
Oh gosh. There goes our canvas.
Yep. Sorry,
You
guys.
just have to put the pony pictures on the fluff like sticky notes.
CPC got to me, so.
Oh, I need to check.
KT.
you are so fantastic.
All right, so back to the picture. Thank you for dealing with our silliness. But
it's the
general-
contract I signed.
I think so. If I'm to step back very generally, everything feels very stiff. Now, when I think of floating ponies, I feel like there's a little bit more flow to them because they don't necessarily ragdoll, but they do let gravity do its thing. But it's also weird because unicorn magic, we don't know where the main support of the unicorn magic is.
The horn.
Well, I mean, what? But do you like pick the pony up by the horn? Like, is that how the magic works?
Oh, I think in this case, it was like just holding her from all points, like telekinesis throw.
Yeah, it's just like a envelopment.
But I still think it's a little stiff for. That's just.
Yeah. So and the legs need to be longer anyway. So what I would do is sort of have them a bit more floaty, a bit more sort of dangly. Even that looks too much like she's walking. So let's see. We round it out. Make it very obvious that like her sort of floating here. Now my lines are becoming too messy. Whatever. So it's like she's just sort of like letting her legs dangle in the air. Oops. Because she's floating. She doesn't need to be all stiff. The back legs are fine. Apart from they probably need to be a bit longer. But you don't need to make your legs as thick as I do. It's just just suck.
No.
The front legs were definitely too short. So there we go.
Then I gotta give kudos that you made the body actually in 3/4, since a lot of people tend to make it still side view to make it long. So kudos for that foreshortening.
You pencil case, you're the best.
Oh, CPC. Too cute. Too cute.
Oh, that's
Now,
adorable.
since you do have the body at 3/4, my next thing would be to push to have the tail at 3/4. Right now it's more of a side view than behind her. I know it's something that everybody's ever drawn a pony.
Yo, guilty.
Done this. Everybody do the side, like there's, even though it's 3/4, you pull the tail out to the side because like I want to see the tail. Who doesn't? Tails are cute. But because of the way the tail connects, it'd be behind her much more. Maybe there'll be a little bit between her legs, getting that flow going on. But essentially, let's see if I can get a better color for this. Just do red. Red's always. Essentially, the tail you're gonna see overlapping.
I do have to hand it, this mane, like, wow, it's got shape and curls and flow. Nicely done.
Volume. Absolutely. So yeah, it's just something to think about. Tail more behind her.
Now we can see that a bit better. I was losing the lines in color.
Nice.
So I've just done general corrections to the face to try and pull stuff back into alignment, because you're talking about proportions. So your eyes, I know MLP has these hilariously large eyes that would way overfill the head and leave no space for the brain, which makes a lot of sense for what happens in the show over and over again. But even still, we should shrink down the eyes a bit so they're only taking up 3/4 of the head as opposed to half the, or 2/3, whatever. Anyway, mathematical. Anyway, we're going to shrink down those eyes a bit so they only take up a smaller area, and we can generally draw in the full area of the eye, so that purple circle, purple oval, and then we're going to chop off the bits for the how to get whatever shape her eyes are going to be in. And this will help us make sure things like horns and ears aren't being intersected by the ear. It helps us align it all to the picture. So we've gone ahead and corrected that. And then I've just given it the classic 3D muzzle, because hey, 3D is so much cooler than 2D, unless if you're Paper Mario.
That's very true.
You can always take a 3D muzzle like this and bring it back to the 2D world, which is completely fine to do. It just helps you figure out the direction that it's going to make sure it matches the rest of the face and understand what should be in the mouth and what shouldn't. For instance, this pink area that you have inside the mouth, there'd be no reason for that, because even though we're on 3/4, we're going to see through the bulk load of that mouth because, hey, the entire mouth opens up. It doesn't just go out halfway unless if it's anime. And
I like your rhyme there.
it was on the spot. And finally, we're missing an ear.
It was on point.
Oh, touche. Horses need 2 ears. It's one of those things that they really like having. When they don't have 2 ears, they have a real hard time
They're
hearing.
very sad.
Yeah.
They can't emote properly. If you're on the wrong side of them, you won't tell how they're feeling.
Q Pencil Case's mutant giant eyes and wee little itty bitty horn. That's scary. Yeah, and
Oh my god.
that's all I have for this. Overall, great job. I like that you've incorporated the background into it as opposed to just horse hovering on white. It's good. It's good. Keep it up. Do more horse. Or non-horse. I mean, whatever interests you at the moment. Any questions for us? Anything you'd like us to elaborate on that we've maybe talked about?
I'm so terrible at my art.
Ah, a voice. Hello. Everyone's quiet suddenly.
We're just waiting
Oh.
to get a response from Lombard. And then we'll hop on
No.
to Rabbids.
Ribbity Rabs. I think I figured out why I want to say Plumbard instead of Tombard. Because the Sims plum thing.
Plumbub.
Yeah, that thing. Sims has the.
Now Spirit needs a friend next to him. She's disappeared. Or maybe instead, I'll just have to change the expression to be looking down or sad because his friends are gone.
No, that's so just. No. Why would you?
But he needs friends.
Totally.
No, he doesn't.
Well,
Doesn't need canvas be upside down? Silly profile.
the Lombard, the best way to get better is by drawing more. You not just drawing the same. Your goal should always to be improve. Grab an element that you don't like and work on it. Grab study references and look off of the people that you really like their elements. So say if you go look at NC Mares, you're like, I really like how she does lines. I want to harvest your style for lines.
Mez is a go.
I don't know. I just always assume they
It's
are.
a boy.
Okay, his lines. Anyway, doesn't matter. harvest that style. Basically, you go and look at it. You keep trying to collect elements from it, redoing it, and incorporating it into your own. Because you shouldn't be 100% someone else's. You want to be you. But you is the collection of things you've found around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make style, do art, have fun. Anime colors. I don't know what anime colors means, but I'm gonna assume it's cool. Oh my gosh, that's a very happy horse on the other side.
Have you guys tried a tank before?
Oh my god.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Afunculus. I can't even try that one. Afinculons.
What'd you say?
Have you guys drawn a tank before?
John Tank? No, I have not.
The turtle? Yeah, I think twice. Maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of pictures.
Stranger Saurus said tortoise Zamzam,
Oh,
not turtle.
You got me here. You got me. Is this a question about how to draw tank, maybe? Because I'm going to have the greatest answer for you. References. The show has them a few times. Just a few. Maybe 6 or 7% of the episodes. You're going to go hop and enjoy an episode of MLP, and then you're going to rewind after watching that full episode and grab the screenshots of tank. That's the best method. Using references that are available. You're going to break them down. You're going to go, hey, this is his shell. This is what it looks like in comparison to the head. Cool. You just start piecewising him until you can redraw him.
Breaking it down is definitely the key there. Just like take each little bit on its own, look at how the shape bends, and look back and forth between the reference and your thing, and try and look at it from the bigger perspective of, you know, how does this look? Is this part too small, or does this not stretch far enough? And then each part you put in can work off the previous thing, and you just look at how they compare. And it's probably going to come out totally nothing like the reference, and that's absolutely okay. And then you draw it 10 more times, and then it will be better and closer to the reference.
And that's practice.
And the best part of doing it that way is you can extend that to doing other things. You're like, hey, I want to draw a car. Cool. Grab references of the car and do that. You want to draw a sloth hanging from a tree while eating a lollipop? I bet you could get references of everything but the eating the lollipop piece.
And don't know, man.
All right.
That sounds
Your goal
great.
is to find a picture of a sloth eating a lollipop. Then.
Awesome.
That sounds like something we need to
I'm on
have
it.
in existence.
I'm doing it right now. You can't stop me.
Okay. All right.
We are encouraging you.
All right, Project Rabbit. We have your picture. It's apparently your OC cosplaying Gierno. I don't know how to pronounce that. Do you have any questions about this one in particular? Look at that mane.
Suck it.
Okay, you win this one.
Oh, I
They
want that
have-
fabric. I want
They
that
have
fabric right now.
ladybirds.
That looks like fabric that's perfect for I just got home and need to relax in pajamas fabric.
Absolutely.
That's perfect.
She's supposed to stand, but I think she would fall. But I don't know why.
Like the center of gravity?
I would disagree.
Yeah,
She doesn't look like she's falling forward.
no. I think it's fine. There is a slight. Ooh, my pen. There's a slight perspective thing. There's like a tilt there a little bit, just a very slight one. So it sort of looks like we're looking upwards at her a little bit, if that makes sense. So it still looks like there's a bit of a tilt going, and that's fine. It doesn't look like she's falling over. I mean, we have talked about sort of like central gravity and things on this show before, and if you do sort of want to have them completely straight, even then she's not leaning far enough. She's just putting more weight on this leg. But yes, she is sort of leaning this way, and it's fine. If she was leaning like this, then yeah, she'd be falling. But she's got these strong little pony legs.
I
Very
wonder
cool.
what's the difference between pet ponies and vampire ponies.
What is the difference between ponies and vampire ponies? About 2 inches of teeth.
And they have different wings, and that one apparently can't speak.
The screes. It depends. Yeah, it depends which
Yes,
group you're
they can
following.
squee.
Yeah, they have their chitinous wings. Their fleshy wings as opposed to feathery wings. They got the diamond-shaped teeth or eyes. There you go.
Yes. I've gotten really into bat ponies. Anyway, back to the topic of art. I don't quite get what's going on with like the outfit. I don't really know the character that they're
It's
cosplaying.
yeah. It looks like
I like the ladybirds.
yeah.
They keep.
I do like the face. The face has a lot of elements that are improved on this one over your other one. So it looks like between these two drawings, you've done a heck of a good job on these eyes versus your last one. You are still missing another ear. You could get away without that ear. Just by shaving this
You
one
don't
down.
get past Zomzom.
I don't know. It's just something about missing ears. It always throws me off. It's gonna be weird when I meet Fluffy's eye in real life, and he's just gonna cover up one of his ears every time he sees me.
I gotta do that. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
What is? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. You got like the tail, and then is this like a ball held between the tail? Or is this like not a tail? Because I don't know how the tail would not be able to very easily. We've seen ponies pick things up in the tails a little bit, but mostly just like to flip things around. Pinkie Pie is the exception. She can like wrap it around stuff and carry things, but she's an exception to a lot of things.
Yeah, I wouldn't use Pinkie Pie for any type of
No.
metric.
This is a thin little strip of flesh, and then I don't have a good secondary color, and then a lot of hairs coming off of it. That's what this horse tail is. So essentially, this ball is sort of held in this hair and this tiny little strip of body. Now, you've seen unicorn tails, but they're just like a long, thin thing with like a sort of a lion tail-esque fur at the end. It's because that's kind of what tails are. That it's just they have fur all over it.
The ball's floating.
Floating.
All right. Well, even so, even if it's independently floating, it's just like out there, and it
Yeah,
has no
there's
weight.
like nothing really to show that because it just looks like it's held in the tail. So if you want it to be floating, this might be part of the character, I don't know, but just talking from like someone who doesn't know the character, I think is probably a good perspective. If you had it completely separately from the tail, then that would be good, because then we can say, hey, yeah, look, this ball is floating above where the tail is, and then it's obvious. Because if something has to be like, oh, you just have to kind of know, and it's not really explained with the art by itself, then that's something that you should probably try to make a little bit more clear.
I would also take the entire tail.
Yeah,
and
Living
move
Dead's
it
doing a
out
much better
over
job of
here.
that. I was just sort of demonstrating the shape, but
Yeah.
LD's got a really good placement there.
So the tail follows the butt. The butt points behind the horse. It can swoosh left and right, but generally while doing a standard pose and it's not swooshy swooshy, it's going to be behind the said horse. Now, putting it behind the horse sounds like a bit of an effort because you got to go, hey, now I have to figure out how it's pointing instead of showing that awesome, awesome tail. Yes, you do. The advantage of this, creating depth to your picture by putting it behind it, really, really helps the picture. It gives it more life. Because when you look at someone and they're standing in front of you, they have depth to them. Humans are a 3D creature. Unless they've been turned into cartoon animals again. But your regular human is a 3D creature. And when you look at us, we have the depth going on, and it helps us figure out, it gets an idea of what's going on with the rest of the person. How far their arms are ahead of them, how their legs are sitting. Depth. So if we apply that with the tail behind the body, we get an idea of how the legs are sitting, the direction the horse is turned for us, and how far the arms are pushed forward or back. Things like that. Hope that helps. So the too long didn't read, or if you're sketching there, something for Q pencil case is just sketching for the sake of sketching. Yeah. Yes, they are.
It looks like she's probably sketching a rotator.
Yeah.
All hail.
Do you have any more questions, Rabbit? Oh, also, pro tip, because this is your second picture that I've seen a signature in. Incorporate the signature in the actual image. If you pull it off left and right, it is the easiest thing to ever crop out. If it's incorporated, like writing up the leg, very hard to remove without taking some effort into it. It also adds that personalization to it, saying, hey, it's somewhere on the body.
My I was about to say cutie mark for some reason. My brain went, that's not the right word. My signature is like it's I went back to an old, when I went by Zygatomon, I had like this really old one that I did with like some GIMP filters, and I really liked it. So I went back and I found that again, and I sat there and manually made a Fluffy's Eye version, and it's all new and shiny as a vector and everything. And like the heart, it ends in like a heart, because I usually have like a heart symbol after my name. And that it has like a semi-transparent fill, and I really like to sort of overlay it just so like the heart goes over the picture, and then because you can still sort of see the picture underneath the heart, and it's that's sort of a nice thing. Then it's not super easy to edit out then, especially when you've got like color fades and shading and stuff.
Her mane looks fine. I really like the ponytail that's formed. You might want to consider. Oh my gosh, why does it do that every time? Consider flaring it out behind the horse. Okay, apparently there's an error and I'm attempting to reconnect. That's interesting.
Oh no.
Just for the chat box. But beyond that, I think your mane looks fine.
you guys have Inkscape or Adobe Illustrator?
What? Okay, I didn't catch that.
Do we have Inkscape or Adobe Illustrator?
I have Illustrator. That's because I mentioned Vector, I think. Yeah, I tried to use what was it? Affinity. I tried to use Affinity recently, and it was really nice. At first, I was like smitten with it because it was like everything that Illustrator did well was still in Affinity Designer, but then every little control or an annoying thing about Illustrator was better in Affinity. But I got to layer masking, and it drove me insane. In fact, it drove me to tears, and I went back to Illustrator. So that's my story.
Beautiful.
Infinity Design and made Zai cry.
Poor Zach.
No crying Zai. Alright, so we have a picture by Main Foundation. It's the one on the top left corner.
Alrighty.
Still can't do body
so
anatomy.
small.
Sad face. Also, I haven't drawn it all.
I see a problem with your body anatomy. It's missing.
That's right.
Very good point.
The best way
Yeah,
to
it's, yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
The best way to get better at something is by doing it. Even if
Yeah,
you
so that's what I was gonna say. It sounded like a joke, but it was like, you're not gonna improve if you don't do it. So it's just about pushing yourself to try doing it, even if you don't feel comfortable.
in the wise words of a madman, just do it.
I know it's
Actual
scary
killer.
and it's intimidating, and you're gonna mess up a lot, but that's fine. That's art. Just have fun with it.
I'm just gonna doodle around a pony next to it, and if you feel like watching me helps you figure out how bodies come into existence, then that's fantastic.
Oh my
This
gosh.
just
I
erase
guess-
it doesn't erase enough, and then you scribble a bit, and then it erases too much. It's really annoying.
So I guess my other question would be, sadly you are not here to answer, so I apologize that I'll be inferring for a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Are you drawing on like MS Paint with your mouse or something? Or are you do you have a drawing tablet? If not, I mean if you're using your mouse or your finger, the best way to get better is to break out the old school, pencil and paper. That is
Oh yeah.
the best way you're going to learn if you cannot get digital drawing tools. at the
Traditional is better than digital.
Oh damn.
Listen, my heart gets all fuzzy when I hold a traditional piece.
It's something like I feel like just digital is so much more applicable, but it's just not. It's just so much. It feels like so much more tedious. Like you don't when you're sitting there with a paper and pencil. There's something just so charming about it, and when you finish a drawing, it's like you just want to show it to everyone. It's great.
But yeah, no, I totally agree. Yay.
CPC,
Yeah.
that is ridiculous.
Oh
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I approve. This
Cute
is
pencil
beautiful.
case. You are a treasure and a gem, and a treasure gem, and it's brilliant.
I think I need to crack out the Sculpty and make it a Zytato.
I was actually just thinking like turning everyone into
Oh my
a plush
God.
potato. Get some
Would that be
potatoes,
hard?
What are you guys gonna do?
Just make a potato and then you add the features onto it. How hard is that?
You do it with
This
like if you do it with felt,
And
it's
this
like
is
a
how the world
$4
ends.
thing, right? Except for, of course, Zai and CPC would have to be done with the like shag carpets.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. I love
Well,
it.
now I have my base models.
I was tempted to draw a AC-130, but it's a failure.
You were trying to draw an AC-130, but it's a failure?
Listen, failure is a very strong word.
So if you're attempting to draw it, that's better than not ever trying.
That's already succeeding.
We've
Yes, absolutely.
as we've said 3 times in the stream, you got to do it to do it. If you don't ever do
And
it,
it's okay to not do it right. You know, it's okay to do something wrong. It's all okay. It's just convincing your brain. That is always the hardest part.
Yeah.
But the fact is that it is okay. So just shoot that fact at your brain. Factual. Pew pew.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Come on.
God damn it.
To be to be honest, I love to draw my OC with a World War. Oh my god.
Can you try that again?
To be honest, I love to draw my OC with a World War II vehicles.
Cool.
Fancy technology. Well, old school technology, but still fancy.
What kind of expression? Evil pony, evil smoke.
But yes, to come back to this head. There's people drawing to see, so hopefully you're, despite all of our chitter chatter, you're watching the people draw full bodies and such. Maybe that'll help.
Also, my head is much too big, and I think the body's too small. But I don't think you can resize on this program.
There.
Oh,
Wait, yes, you can.
But that's okay. See, look, you're pointing out, you're thinking about stuff. So
exactly.
like, if this wasn't the stream, you could go right next to it and redraw it and try to correct it and do it again.
Because it's about trying.
Yeah.
These legs look too thin. See, it's all about, like, you spot stuff that's like, okay, this needs improving, and then just figure out what needs improving about it, and then try and fixing it. And if fixing up a drawing, it becomes too hard, because after a while, you can only get water from a stone for so long, so it's like, after a while, just draw the picture again. Seriously, 100%, I will guarantee this. I have had so many pictures where it's like, I want to redraw this, or like I want to fix up this picture, and I'm trying to do it, but it's so hard because you've got the picture there and it's like kind of in the way, and I'll draw it again from scratch, and it's so much better.
Totally.
It's amazing when you give yourself that chance. Like, yes, it's a lot of work, of course, but
drawings work, but it's rewarding.
And it's practice along the way.
So I've just done some minor corrections to like the ear and the eye sizes. This all comes down from portions. Want to draw linked you in your post a pony anatomy thing written by Viewraptor. Yes, that's always his name.
So I love View and Wanna Draw, both great people.
So you want to follow that guide. Don't expect to digest it in one go. Man, it took us like a year and a half to even get close to getting pony anatomy down, and we still get it wrong. It happens. Don't expect to be perfect every single moment or every single drawing. You just gotta do. Eventually.
Like someone, like I was doodling stuff. I was showing like the picture I was drawing yesterday, and one of my friends was just like, honestly, I don't think you can do a bad picture at this point, Zai. And I was just like, funny joke. Like, it's just like, this is something we talked about the other day, I think, but it was like, a lot of the time you see the artists you like, and they put out all these pictures. It's like, oh, this is great. They're so good. All their pictures are great. Like mine, I struggle with, and I keep having to like fix them up, and they're not as good. Like, that artist probably like has 10 more pictures that don't work for every one they post that does.
Absolutely.
I know it's definitely the case for me. And for
It's all
you
about
guys.
perspective. You gotta understand what we see is not always everything.
Yeah, they like that artist. Like, I posted something on Tumblr kind of half as a joke, but it's like a true thing. But it was just like, it's sort of like a fake question answer thing, but it's just like, random person, artists, how do you draw so well? All I draw is crappy pictures. I don't know how you do it. And then artist being like, because I've drawn way more crappy pictures than you. Because that's basically it.
It's true. Look, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to exist.
Yeah.
That's how you get better.
Just need to be doing it.
All right. I think we've beat that horse pretty hard.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the next one.
Yes, please.
This one.
I hope my doodling this pony helped you look at like how, but you can just watch the video back and just like watch me sketching this, and hope it gave you some insight and drawing Join the bods.
Did they delete that
There's a
one?
boop. The boop is appearing. Don't be mean. Be fluffy.
This one is by
It is.
Main Anatomy.
Ooh, I like their name.
Yes. Very relevant. That is very cute.
Or Main
Is the
Foundation,
Flutters?
sorry.
Is this the flutters?
This is the Flutters.
Yeah, it's very cute.
So they said... Wait, no, hold on. I'm getting pictures wrong
Wait,
here.
holding?
We just did Main Foundation. What are we doing now? Your daily dose of Fluttershy. Oh, this is Wanna Draw. Holy
Oh.
cow. I had my pictures order mixed up. So they didn't ask any questions. Oh my god, that's magical, KT. Alright, so let's talk this little flutter. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable.
She just like, flower on my nose. So is this? They're not actually like here in the stream, are they?
No.
I'm assuming this is like her hoof being like, no, take the flower off.
That's the arm.
Kinda,
Or the hair.
the hair.
Yeah, it's curled over.
Okay. So the flower's just sort of like on her nose, and it's come off into the hair. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because if this was the hoof, that's like way smaller than it is in this. Yeah. So I guess it just got sneezed into the mane. Or something. Then let's see. I'm hard pressed finding stuff to nitpick
It's
about this.
very
Honestly,
show style.
I would say. Sorry, Ali.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying it's very show style. You definitely are getting the show style feel.
If there's anything that I can sort of pick out, this is something we've said before. This is a very clean sketch. It's very pristine and neat, and this is definitely like a pencil sketch. I can tell that. So it doesn't look like there's been much of, if any, under sketching or just messiness. Like you've just drawn this. Like I look at the mane here, and it's like there's kind of a lack of smoothness here. Like you can see it being kind of bumpy. It looks like you've just taken a pencil and literally just done one line. Like, okay, I'm just gonna do this line here, and you can see it's bumpy. That's worse. That's much worse when I did it. But obviously you're better because you got an actual pencil. But it's, you're not gonna get it that well. So if you want to do a smooth mane, a smooth line of anything, you do this. Because just be messy. Let yourself be a little bit sketchy, and that's totally fine. You can tell that, oh, here's the mane. It's like, oh, it goes down here and then sort of goes up. Yeah, that's fine. I'd try not to press Control Z because you don't have that when you got a pencil. Oh, here's a mane. It sort of goes up like this. Cool. And you just be messy about it because that's how you figure stuff out. Also, the ear kind of juts out. It kind of juts out and then goes back down. That looks kind of painful. It would just sort of fall flat on the head like this.
So as everyone was saying, your pictures stamp MLP. Here we go. What a lot of us are doing is applying the flourishes that you'll often see added from artists, because you don't have to animate 10,000 scenes in a day. You get the ability to flourish everything. So use that. Abuse it. It's great fun. For instance, I've taken the tail, moved it up. The reason is, even in MLP, they'll actually make it look like it's coming out of the rear end. It should actually be following along the spine. Yeah, it should be all down here and out the back. And it should follow along the spine, which is across the top of the back. So by raising it up, it looks less like the pony is pooping it out and more like it's actually coming off the back end of the horse. We've also taken the wings and just given them a little feather body to them and slightly stretched them out while thinning the body of them. This gives the impression that they're folded up on themselves while still being large enough to actually, theoretically, with the power of magic and friendship, hold up a horse.
I love that magic.
I
friendship
love the
power.
shapes, Ali Claw. Very nice.
I've also
Ponies
added
with
in here.
cheeks are far superior.
Yes, you got to get those cute chubby cheeks.
I know the show doesn't do them often, but like, even if you're doing show style, give them a little cheek. I think it looks
If you do movie
ages and
style, they
ages
got lovely
better.
shapes to the face.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like as we've said, we generally feel like, you know, it's always been like, you can go out and do your art styles, your crazy styles, it's fine. But like every now and then it's good to like sort of go back to basics and make sure you're really established with like how to do the show style as like a foundation. But it's like we feel like the movie style is the new basic.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. The way I think of it is, if you want to do pure, unadulterated show style, odds are you're gonna want to be a vector artist. That's my feel towards it, because they are flat, they are vectored. You know, it's a great place to start. But if you only want to do show style and nothing else, you're gonna have a lot more fun doing it via vectors.
And you don't need a tablet for vector art. It just actually kind of gets in the way. This is really imprecise, so you want a mouse.
And there's nothing wrong with vector art either.
Yeah,
you
I used to
know?
do it for a while. I did some nice stuff. Actually, kind of want to go back to it for a while, just to try it again. It can be very fun. It's definitely its own thing. Where drawing like this is very sort of dexterity and skill. It's to an extent, anyway. Not the whole thing, but a lot of it is sort of like making strokes and having that like flexibility and feeling your creativity through a pen. Whereas vector is very sort of methodical, and I felt like there was a lot of vector which is sort of puzzle solving in a way, because you had to like figure out, oh, how am I going to make this shape work? You've got resources at your disposal, and it's all about using those in as creative a way as you can. So it's more sort of like logic creativity rather than like dexterity creativity. But it can be very fun.
And both of them are skills. Both can be learned. So if you do want to change, like, this goes
And
to
they're not mutually
everybody.
exclusive. You can do both.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel it's a lot more fun once you get the idea of anatomy from show style, and then you really break off and find the shapes and the forms, and
Yeah, because if you don't want to,
hair.
if you don't want to do show style, this is just your starting point. That's absolutely fine. It's a good idea to like make sure you got that down, and then what you want to do is just say, you know what, I really like this artist's pictures. I really love how they do it. And then you look at it closer and say, eyes. I really love how they do their eyes. Oh, I love how this artist does their noses. Their snouts are so cute. I love how this artist does ears. They got like a really unique shape. Or, you know, there can be different artists, and you try them out. So I'm going to try doing cute pencil case fluffy ears. You know, she has such an adorable, unique shape to her ears. And then you're gonna try doing them and come up with something. I mean, even cute pencil case as well. She got her ears from like copying other artists and trying to.
I believe they were your ears, actually.
Oh yeah, I think I was part of an influence.
See? I knew it. I remembered right.
and I sort of got them. Actually, I don't know where I got my ears. They're sort of a mixture of different people and different ideas. But see, that's what you do. You look at artists. My noses were like, I think they were like a bit of Denny Butt and a bit of, I think Atrial and like some others, and I just like I just combined different artists together. I tried different things and mixed it about, and eventually it evolved, and I sort of made my own thing with it. I was drawing a collab. I stole them. I'm just straightforward.
Yep.
But yeah, and once you start picking up these little bits and pieces, because that's what art is. It's 1,000 different tricks. It's not one big thing. It's how to draw ears and how to draw eyes and how to draw noses and how to draw bangs and how to draw eyebrows, and you learn each little thing, and each little thing could be its own little style, and then they all sort of meld together.
Totally. And something to keep in mind is, like, we may give critique here, but we're just one group.
We're learning.
Like, maybe, you know, we're learning. Plus, just like, everyone's gonna have a different opinion, and it's your job as the artist to listen to it, think about it, try it, and see if you like it or not. And you know, if you don't like it, that's your journey, and that's fine. None of us will be offended, I promise. It's all good.
I just can't get it. I'm just laughing at this, like, I copied Zai. It was doing a collab. I stole him. It's just so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry, I was like holding my Flutter plushie for extra mojo for this critique, and plushie Flutter says it's cute. This drawing is cute.
Yo.
All right.
I guess like that's all
On to the next.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a new.
Well, we don't have another. We have one more submission from Rabid. I'd just like to, before I even bother putting it on, is there any questions you have on that one, Rabid? Because from the looks of it, the critique from the last two apply to it, where it's mostly the tail, directionality, and a little face shaping.
Mm-hmm.
Please ignore that hiccup.
We all heard it.
It did not exist.
Okay.
This just in. Psy hiccups.
Dun dun dun.
No,
Oh no.
it just happens sometimes.
Oh.
So, working on your faces, you do that by drawing a lot of faces. We gave critique on 2
And-
images already.
And looking at how other people draw faces and making faces in a mirror.
Yes. Sometimes we could tell you how to correct each line in your drawing, but odds are you're not going to really learn until you try to apply it to your drawings. You know, start fresh. Don't just reiterate what we told you. Let yourself fail. Let yourself find and discover and build.
That's the only way you'll
Practice,
figure out.
It's such the cheap answer, but practice. References with practice. A lot of references. Never be afraid of you have an internet full of references. I see people come in, it's like, I don't know how to draw a cat. Well, did you pull up pictures of cats?
Yeah.
That's like the first thing you should do.
Because it is, because it's totally understandable, right? Like, you go to draw some, like, I suck at animals. That's because I have, like, the last time I tried, I hadn't, like, pulled up pictures of each animal and separately and learned them. It feels like a cheap thing. It's like, oh, go Google it, you know, but it's like, it really is, like, so vital to just, you don't even understand how much you need, like, a reference until you have it, and then it's like, oh my god, this is so much more useful. I love those Keep Case drawings that are appearing. They're just gold. Yeah, it's good. Like, I really need to get it, like, in a solid place, but I had this old picture once, and I mentioned this before, where I had a picture I was drawing of Pinkie Pie and one of my OCs, and, like, the Pinkie Pie I drew from memory. So, like, you know, I know Pinkie Pie. I see her all the time, you know. So it's like I just, like, drew her, and I got, like, most of it kind of right from memory, but the general shape and the small little details of, like, how each line works just wasn't right. Yeah, I got, like, the overall shape of, you know, you can see it was Pinkie Pie, but, like, the tail wasn't quite right, and the mane wasn't quite right, and, like, the body just didn't look pony enough. You know, it wasn't, like, soft and round properly. It was just, like, kind of jagged. And then, like, then I was like, I'm gonna redo this. So I got, by the way, this was, like, back in my vector days as well, and I got a reference to Pinkie Pie up, and I redrew it, like, pretty close to, not exactly, but pretty close to, like, the orientation and pose I was doing, and I drew it again, and I compared the two, and I'm like, wow, this with reference is so much better. It just looks, it's still not perfect, but it looks brilliant compared to the old one. And I like to sort of compare them, because it's like the same time period. It wasn't like a redraw years later. It was the same thing, but it's like without reference and with reference.
You gotta love that stuff.
Yeah.
It just feels satisfying, I think.
What is happening to Spirit here?
I love this. This is great.
Keep Case is just bored and amazing.
I don't know if I can pick a favorite. All these expressions are so good.
Everyone should go give Keep Case a hug
Absolutely.
and a high five, and or depending on her preference.
Plushies. Everyone should just give Cupid's a case of plushie.
Yeah. This is just brilliant.
My eyebrows are flying away.
And it just makes you more shocked and they just move further away. There they go.
Bye.
The way you said that, though, Ali, kind of reminded me of Osaka from Azumanga Daioh. It just seemed like the kind of silly thing that'd be in that show. Anyway, we haven't got any more art in, I don't think.
Nope, that is the last of it. Unless someone has something to submit, we're gonna be closing our doors forever. No, just till next week. Just till next week. It's okay, Project Rabbit. I think the main thing you should take right now is that it's time. We gave you a bunch of critique. It's time to take that and try it out and see if you like it or not. That your art's going to improve that way. Otherwise, we're just going to be critiquing the same stuff over and over again because this is your older art, you know?
Yeah, you gotta
Time
take
to
what
go
we
out and
said and go and
practice.
try.
Yeah,
Then you can come back next week and we can see what you did.
exactly.
And you can give us the stuff that you've drawn over the week that you feel is the most needing of looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, we'll be glad to look at your stuff. I hope you do.
Yeah, go draw. Draw.
And good luck. You have cute ponies in your future. I don't have to be a fortune teller to know that. Because you're making them. You're making your destiny.
I wanna be the very best. Like no pony ever was.
All right. Well, if that's it for art, we're gonna call it a week today.
Woo!
Oh, there we go.
Thank you for all the art and effort that you guys are putting into learning how to draw ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are all fantastic and lovely, and take care of yourselves and drink lots of water and draw lots of ponies.
And dream lots of water and drink lots of ponies. Wait.
Drink lots of water and draw lots of ponies.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yes.
What about pony water? Is that can we make that a thing?
The bottle has like ponies on it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. Well, thank you all.
Yes, I would say take care of your tongue. Don't drink hot soup. Project Rabbit said that is a good advice. Please don't burn yourself on hot tea or soup or whatever you're eating. Speaking of, I'm gonna go make some tea.
See y'all next week.
Do it, birthday boy.
Bye.
Bye.